So, what do you think like makes a healthy relationship nowadays?
You're in a relationship, you pick someone, they pick you based on who you are, and then you can't then try and mould them into something you think they should be.
I suppose that's around everyone, isn't it? Ultimately, you want people to just be comfortable being themselves, and with whatever relationship it may be.
It can be hard sometimes, challenging, especially I feel like when you're younger, like nowadays, even I see like there's a lot more kids that like can be quite controlling about, like worried about like where their girlfriends or boyfriends, where they're going and stuff like that. And I think that trust has got to be there, and like you say, like you learn to love them, and like you don't never really want to force them to change. It's like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I think a healthy relationship definitely got to have trust, and I think there's quite big like self-reflection and stuff like that.
You know, if you speak to something about an issue or something you were uncomfortable with, you then probably will, maybe when you're driving in your car, think, did I go about that in the right way? And it probably is important that you know, sometimes when emotions are high and in the heat of the moment, you might behave a certain way, and you might then reflect on it and think, oh, I could have dealt with that better. And that happens in a lot of aspects in life, I think.
I think it's important to notice like little stuff that you're doing, even speaking to someone of more experience. Do you think that's right, or do you think I'm doing this is okay?
Self-reflection is important every day in everything, really.
I think like eventually it will get better, but I think it's just going to be a slow progression. My bandpee, like his relationship with my nan, like they're very like quite old school in the sense like my nan will cook, she'll clean, and like he goes to work and stuff like that. But like in the house, they're very open with each other now, and I think like even like the older generation, like even though they still tend to do like the old school sort of thing, like the men works and the woman cleans and does all the cooking stuff, even they're getting quite open, like always speaks about them, like how I'm feeling and stuff. So I think it's quite nice to see.
That's probably what we talk about, perception of what a man is, or what it is to be a man. That would be one of the most important things for me, is being able to look at the way you've handled certain situations and accept that perhaps you've done it wrong, or you could have handled it better. There's lots of opinions when we're training, lots of opinions, but accepting that actually, I could have done that better. Theo, you make a great point. I'll try and handle that better next time. And I think that for me it probably comes with maturity as well. Just being able to have those conversations and accept that none of us are going to be perfect all the time.
It sounds like the rugby team as well. You know what I mean? Like you're like a family and brothers and all that, and like sometimes you're not going to agree with everything each other says, but in the end of the day, you got to take it on board, move on, and like next time maybe listen. Like you can always talk about it and work stuff out, but like at the end of the day, you just got to agree to disagree, I guess.
Sort of disagreement, isn't it, with all your relationships, just being able to be honest with it, and try not to make people, if you do feel you need to let someone know about something, it's just how you speak to them, I suppose.
It's probably one of my biggest improvements, I think, over my career, particularly when I was younger. I was very, very hot-headed, very much, I had an idea of what was the right way to do things, and I see it in some of the youngsters here. Very passionate, very sort of knowledgeable, but sort of very single-minded, and I think you learn that as you go. You have disagreements with people, and you become more open-minded. You see other people's point of views. Rugby's been a huge teacher for me, really. Do you think the perception of what being a man has changed, or is being challenged in society and in rugby?
It definitely is. You see a lot more about it these days. A lot of people, I suppose, speaking out about mental health and stuff. People from all different industries, I suppose. So there's a lot of people in the public eye. I listened to Dele Alli on Gary Neville's podcast. There's probably individuals like that who are doing a lot for to make it more acceptable to be open about issues, and I think they've done a good job probably. I've got a little brother, and the way him and his mates, I can see a lot of differences from when I was a kid in lots of things, and just probably education is probably a massive one.
Historically, it's been sort of seen as a sign of weakness to talk about your feelings and probably a sign of being hard, or being a sign of strength, to just sort of put your head down and get on with things. Sort of when I came through 17, 18 compared to now being, 12, 13 years later, there's been a huge shift in just the stigma around talking about sort of how you're feeling, a much more acceptance around the fact that mental health is something that needs to be worked on and won't always be at 100%. And same as your physical health, no one thinks you're weak if you become physically ill.
It does feel like you're getting sort of out of your comfort zone, I suppose, when you're trying to open up. But yeah, it's definitely probably has improved, and still some bit to go.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be an uncomfortable conversation, talking, making yourself or being vulnerable about stuff like that. But I think the sort of the shift in that has been massive. I hear you young boys having conversations that would never have existed back when I was first coming through. Even just how people asking how's your head, if someone's gone through a breakup or an illness in the family or whatever, just
stuff like that.
just boys checking in on each other, which we just never thought about it when we were younger. So I think just making it so much more apparent that stuff's going on and that it's okay.
Yeah, there's always been that stereotype, if you're a man, you got to be that man and take care of the household. You got to have the big wage coming in, looking after everyone and stuff like that. And yeah, I feel like now times have really changed. Like we want people to speak up about any problems they have, and I feel like that's really improved, especially with the rugby community and now the team. I feel like everyone's a bit more open about it and stuff like that, and everyone's buying in with each other, like even just a bit of banter, always checking up on each other and stuff like that. Willing to speak that relationship as well, like especially with a couple of the younger boys now, it's a bit of banter, like our house misses and like joking around about stuff, but like eventually you start speaking about stuff in quite more serious tone and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's helped me. I think I've become more open and stuff. Yeah, I think I feel much better about it after speaking about stuff as well.